Hello and welcome back to the Monkeywood Garage. Today we're going to head across to the Iron City Motorcycles summer party in South Shields. Now if you don't know who Iron City Motorcycles are, they're a Harley, KTM, Husqvarna and Royal Enfield dealer. Probably one or two others. But in terms of the lineup for today, what I'm more interested in is the Royal Enfield range. So I've had my eye on the Himi 450 for what, the last 6 months as a potential touring machine. I am a little bit off put by the 40 horsepower engine, but do you need more than that? I guess if I was going to go on longer distance touring, maybe, but otherwise I reckon that'll do just fine. But according to the listing for the summer party, I think Red Bull's going to be there, there's a couple of food vans, and let's just see what sort of crowd turns up. I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but I'm looking forward to it. The weather was supposed to be quite clear and sunny, but instead it's quite overcast. I don't know if it's going to start bucketing down, but I am getting blown left to right in the bike. Well, it should be interesting when we hit the motorway. And riding a naked bike, I actually don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage in windy weather, because one, you haven't got a huge windshield that kind of interrupts the airflow. I'm just going to be getting clean air. Well, let's see how we get on. But unless we see something interesting along the way, I'll bring you back when we get closer to the destination. Well, the motorway in this here road hasn't been too bad. I'm getting blown about a little bit, but nothing to worry about. The little street triples cutting through the wind just fine. We've got another 10 minutes or so along this road, and then we're about there. Skies aren't getting any clearer. Hopefully it's not putting people off attending. This isn't exactly the scenic route, unless you like traffic lights, roundabouts. Traffic light number 3652. Looks like we're going to swing a left here. Can't actually see it yet. To nip in here somewhere, I think. Out the rear. Well, we're here at Iron City Motorcycles, that you can just see behind us there. There is music playing, so I'm going to have to be careful how I do this. But let's have a look around. So as you go through the main door, you're greeted with quite a nice entrance. Got a couple of bikes on display, and then heading into the first section was all the KTM bikes. Never really been a brand I've been into, but I appreciate they've got the strengths. And then across here was an absolute death machine in my eyes. I'm petrified of the Hayabusas. But then down here I found what I was looking for, and a very nice Himi 450 in like a black and gold colour. That's not bad, that. We're about the same height, aren't we? And pretty much flat foot, that. Well, not quite. It's quite wide seat, but it doesn't feel too heavy. See, for me, it's all the luggage and just being a bit better on the grass and off road. Aye. Well, how much is that one? £6,000. £6,000. It's weird though. I've never really looked at Royal Enfields until lately, and the range is quite nice. And you can't fault the price. It's the main thing. So I think it's fair to say that the Himi left a positive impression. So walking back through the store, I'll take us upstairs to have a look to see what they've got up here. So just on the left, looks like we've got a lot of KTM branded clothing, hence the orange. There was a load of jackets, top boxes, helmets, pretty much everything I think you're going to need. Your boots. Pretty good selection, I'd say. And walking across here, this little bike caught my eye. Looks insane. Is it £2,500? But this Tenere here, which was the 1200, I mean, as you know, I've been looking for a touring stroke adventure bike. I always thought these would be huge. I mean, it is a huge bike to sit on, but I was shocked when I realised I could actually touch the floor. It might take a bit of getting used to, just for the sheer size of it, but it was a really nice bike. And I'm just having a little wander at the other bits and pieces they've got. There's a few helmets for sale. Quite a nice looking showroom. So we're heading back out just for a quick final tour of what's outside. A couple more of the Royal Enfield bikes that were for sale, all quite nice, followed by a few more KTMs. And not that I got to try it, but there was a nice looking burger van there. Well, the showroom, spot on. The only issue when it comes to recording a video is there was music on everywhere, outside and inside. But I loved having a closer look at the Himi 450. The seating position felt spot on, and I was quite surprised when I tried some bigger bikes. Was it the Tenere 1200, something like that? I could actually reach the floor on that. I didn't think I'd be able to, so that's more food for thought, but I think that's too big of a bike for me. But having seen the Himi, I like that. But some of the prices of them Royal Enfields, fantastic money. People starting to turn up. Like I say, it's still early, and I think unfortunately the weather has put a few people off. But it's time to hit the road. But all the staff seem spot on in there. It's good to know that there's a Royal Enfield dealer within sort of half an hour's ride from home. And there was a Himi 410, I think it was. I think it was 2022 plate with under 3,000 miles on the clock for 2,200. Now the only issue with the 410, correct us if I'm wrong, is I think they've got less horsepower than the 450. Well, obviously, but I think it's quite a bit less, so that probably rules that out. But I think when it's a quieter day, one weekend, I'll pop it back along and I'm going to take the 450 for a test ride and get a feel for it. But it's time to navigate through this traffic, head back home and call it for the day. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers! That guy probably thinks I'll stick my thumb up at him. Oops.